Iran's economy has been shrinking for most of the last 3 years, largely because of sanctions imposed by former US President Donald Trump after he withdrew the US from the Iran nuclear deal in 2018, accusing Tehran of destabilizing the region, which Tehran denies.
These sanctions have impacted Iran's economy in a significant way, but above all, deeply impacted ordinary Iranians that are suffering from rising prices and a declining currency. Against this backdrop, also, of course, Iran has weathered COVID-19. It has the highest death rate in the Middle East.
Against that backdrop, Iranians go to the polls Friday to choose a successor to President Hassan Rouhani. Only 4 candidates remain after 3 pulled out Wednesday, all of them approved and vetted by the Iranian regime's Guardian Council. 3 are hardline conservatives. Just 1 is a reformist.
The regime itself, in every iteration of quote-unquote election since 2009, has been gutting the left flank of its political system, further contracting the boundaries for acceptable space, and with Khamenei at the helm, dragging the system further to the hard right.
Iran has been rocked by a series of events that have shaped the electoral landscape. The US targeted killing of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani in January 2020 prompted widespread public fury. Days later, Iranian forces accidentally shot down a Ukrainian airline passenger jet, triggering anti-government protests.
So there have been, a cycle of interconnected events that have dampened popular sentiment, and in November 2019, protests over rising oil prices were also brutally repressed. So ordinary Iranians are not particularly inclined to vote.
The favourite to win is 60-year-old Ibrahim Raisi, the head of Iran's judiciary. His past involvement in human rights abuses would make him a problematic president for the West, say analysts.
He's unfortunately most famous for his despicable oversight of what is called a so-called death commission in the late 1980s that carried out the murder edict from Ayatollah Khomeini that killed upwards of 5,000 political prisoners in Tehran.
Iran has significantly ramped up its nuclear enrichment and is believed to be just months away from creating enough fissile material for a nuclear weapon. The Biden administration is considering rejoining the 2015 nuclear deal, but only if Iran halts enrichment. Iran says the US must first suspend sanctions. Talks in Vienna are ongoing.
The lifting of sanctions would be a huge boon that could have a trickle-down effect that would be hugely meaningful for ordinary people. That said, I think Iranians today are less invested in the Iran nuclear agreement and less trustful of the United States or European countries.
All Iran's presidential candidates support negotiations to revive the nuclear deal.
There is expectation that with the election completed, perhaps there will be more confidence on the Iranian side in Vienna to get the deal done.
With Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei in his 80s, the handover of power to his successor is expected in the coming years, adding further complexity to the challenges facing Iran's next president. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, London.